Welcome to Stop the Ride, a sober curious podcast for anyone whose relationship with drugs or alcohol has ever felt a little bit like a roller coaster. I'm your host, Drew Valentino. Sobriety can mean different things to different people, so each week I sit with a new guest to share their unique sober journey. So whether you're an addict or just somebody that likes to party, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Hi everyone, welcome to the podcast. My name is Drew Valentino, and today we are here in Los Angeles, and I am with a very special guest, a longtime friend, adult film superstar, Chris Damned. Thank you for being here. I'm really excited to share your story.
Yeah.
How you been?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Where and when did we meet?
I don't know if it was on set or partying.
Oh, was it?
One or the other.
Oh, no. You know what it was? It was the Atlanta Content House.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That was we chatted on Instagram for a while, and then we met up at a content house in Atlanta, which was like a bunch, like 10 guys there to meet up to film and sleep with each other. Yeah. And
there's a lot more than 10.
It was a lot.
Yeah, that was more than 10.
It was fun. And actually, if I remember correctly, there was people that left because of the drug use. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's always interesting.
I mean, just maybe one or two. I don't know if we can say names, but
yeah, no, I wouldn't say any names, but yeah.
Yeah, there's only one or two that I remember specifically.
That's an unfortunate thing with the content houses is it's just a mix of big personalities and potentially drugs.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But at least everybody was doing it responsibly.
Yeah. There was no issues. Yeah. So I'm going to start off by asking a few rapid questions to just get all the information out there. So where are you from? France. I knew that. And when did you come here?
About 14 years ago.
Okay. And what was your drug of choice or drugs of choice?
Probably G and K.
Yeah. And then and how long have you been sober off of G and K?
The last time was October 22, so that'll almost be 3 years.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. And but you still drink, or what do you do? What's sobriety to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm French, so I there were a time where I was drinking too much, so I definitely had to cut that back. But I still have a glass of wine if I go to a restaurant, which it's actually never because I don't really go out anymore. But yeah, here and there. I went to a pool party 2-3 weeks ago at the Sky Bar. I had like 2 cocktails during the afternoon, and then that's normal.
Yeah, I totally get that and respect that. I myself have never really had an issue with alcohol. I've had issues with every other drug. I just don't like alcohol that much. So there was a period of time where I was drinking in my 20s. And when I say drinking, literally we're talking about a beer, a glass of wine with dinner. Yeah. A lot of people can't do that. But
no, I know. I don't really have a problem with it too. I just don't feel great the next day, but I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. And all that to say, my next question is, you likely have you did the 12 steps or AA or any type of program?
No, not that I don't know. I mean, it helps a lot of people, but to me, it was just a little weird. Plus, I didn't have the money to spend like thousands of dollars, or I don't know how much it costs.
Wait, you mean because of rehab, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Because AA meetings don't cost anything.
Oh yeah. But then I went to AA meetings when I thought I was drinking too much. I was drinking too much, but the first one I was like, this is a cult, and I have to find a gay one. So I because they were all praising the Lord, and I was like, I need to get out. So that was very strange. But then I found the one in WeHo, and I went a couple of times. I found it really strange to me while someone was like pouring his heart out that the person was like passing the little basket for money. I was like, do it before, after, not while the person is talking. It's very strange. And then this woman, she kind of wanted to be my sponsor for a second, but then I don't know, it didn't work out, and I was like, this is just not for me. And I just I didn't keep going, and I just stopped on my own. Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. And that's actually my goal of the podcast, is that there's a variety of paths to sobriety, and I want to show the stories of what people are doing and how they did it. And that does not necessarily mean AA. I've been to lots of the meetings, but I never did the 12 steps, you know, and I was sober for a very long time.
I don't even know the difference.
What's that?
I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's a whole program. Apparently, you know, people that really put in the effort, it's a very successful program, but there are people that are able to do it without. Some people can't, but if you can, more power to you. So, what would you say were your earliest experiences using drugs or alcohol?
Oh, that's a longer story, but I was around 26.
Uh-huh.
I had never really drank alcohol or had any drugs until I was 26, which was like 9 years ago.
Wow. And then when you, but it was just drinking, and
the drinking came after, I think, or before. Actually, I don't remember. But to be honest, my substance abuse to me, well, it was at time it was fun, but then the first time was from a broken heart. I started to drink.
Oh, and then, was that back in your 20s or?
Yeah, when I was 25, 26, I fell in love with someone and it didn't work out, and then I just completely lost it. So I started to drink, but then I was fine. And then I also, after that, I met a guy that was in a relationship, so we ended up in a throuple, and he introduced me to drugs. And I've always struggled with my body, and he was telling me like to do GHB before going to the gym was the best to grow muscle.
The gays love to tell you people
and
that.
So at first I was like, no, I'm okay, I'm fine, I don't want a pill. And he was very respectful. He never forced me to do anything. And then I remember my first pill was Halloween. I was 25, 26.
Mm-hmm. And would you say that in your 20s that it was ever like abusive or going overboard, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2016, end of 2016, I had to go back to France because my visa at the time was not going fast enough. So I had to leave. And then when I was back home, I was so depressed that I was doing a lot of cocaine and drugs. And I was so depressed that I attempted suicide. So they had to pump my stomach at the hospital and everything.
Oh, wow. I never knew that.
Yeah.
In your 20s, what would you say was the worst of it for the drugs? Was there any particular drug that you were going overboard with?
The G. Because a lot of people find, like, at first, when I first started, it was, you know, it makes you very horny and everything. But towards the end, because I was doing a lot, to me, it was just like very relaxing. It was just like no hangover, obviously. But then I would be more inclined to be like friendly and then say hi to people and more social. So there was a time where that was more like early 30s, that I would just like wake up and then just do a dose for my day, and then I will continue throughout the day.
Yeah, that's the danger of G, right? Is that there are, compared to alcohol, seemingly very little consequences. So, and when it's over, it just kind of fades away, and then it allows people to normalize having it part of their day to day, even if they have stuff to do, without being noticed, without it smelling like alcohol, without a hangover.
Yeah.
And then as a result, people start using it daily. And G is a surprisingly very easy drug to get physically dependent on. I know a lot of people that were using it, you know, daily for like a week and a half, and then ended up in the hospital when they, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty crazy.
Even on the peak of partying, sometimes I will take like 5 pills in one night.
That's crazy.
My body's very strong.
But you must felt horrible after that.
Yeah, that's why you know, you keep doing it, so you mask the effects, or like the calm down. But yeah, at some point it wasn't working, and then my brain got fried. And after, when I actually stopped doing it for a year, maybe a little over a year, my brain was completely fried. It was very hard to just like get back to normal. Yeah,
there was a year when I first moved to Atlanta that I was using ecstasy way more often than normal. Whatever normal, you really shouldn't be doing any ecstasy, but because that summer that we met, if you remember, that was the first summer after COVID. Like that was the first summer that everything opened back up.
Oh, maybe,
that was the first summer, maybe when a vaccine was available. I'm not sure, but I just remember that the summer before everything was shut down.
Yeah.
And then that summer everything was back open. And then the reason why I bring that up is because I feel like everyone was going super hard every weekend for the whole summer.
Yeah.
Like everybody booked every single party. Everybody did multiple pills every single weekend.
Yeah.
And by August, nobody was having a good time. You know what I mean? Like we were all miserable.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So from my perspective, we saw each other a bunch over that next year at content houses, Pride things, filming, Falcon and studio work. And I know that at the time we both partied.
Yeah.
And maybe even got messy together at one point in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
So, and then all I know is that I feel like I kind of stopped seeing you for a while. Not in a bad way.
No,
I just didn't see you as much for the next 2 years or something. And then I do remember that you told me that you were trying to ease off the partying.
Yeah.
But didn't really clarify what that meant. And then now, as I was doing this podcast and you said like, hey, what about me, bitch? I didn't know.
It was a joke. I didn't even expect anything.
I know that. It clicked. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that. Like, I just thought you just were trying to go to less parties for a little bit, but I didn't realize that you were making this intentional decision of pulling back from drug use.
And I wish I could just go out and party without partying, but because I know you go out still and then you go to a cigarette party or anything and then you're sober, and I do not know how to do it because
everybody says that. Yeah.
It's just really, really hard for me not to just be asleep because I'm exhausted or just like enjoy it because without it and then everybody around having the best time because of the pill, what am I doing?
Yeah, it's definitely, you hit on all of the things. First of all, there's an energy level that needs to be managed.
Yeah.
Which I will have coffee or pre-workout. Second, then you have to assess if you're having a good time, and that could take some getting used to.
Yeah.
And then third, even if you have the energy and you're having a good time, if everybody else is fucked up, then it kind of kills it.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are all things that I have to be aware of, and it's just, and it's not for everybody.
No, I miss going out, and I don't regret any of the parties that I went to. I think for me, it's not over, but it's definitely not something that's going to happen in the near future.
Yeah. So walk me through what happened in those, let's say 2 years when I know that you kind of stopped partying, but was there some big thing that happened or?
Again, so when the pandemic was kind of over and then we started to go out, we all used to go out and I had the best time. And then I met someone and then that was when that ended. That just made the drugs crazy. So I would take even more to cope.
Emotionally. Got it.
And then I remember October 22, I went to Phoenix to go to this festival with my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm thinking about Marcus that is no longer here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was with him and Chris. Anyways, and we had the best time and I met great people and it was fun, but then I kept chasing the high and it was not working.
With ecstasy or
everything?
All of it, all of it, yeah.
I tried everything and it wouldn't work. And I was like, I'm tired. Nothing is working. My friends are having a blast and I can't keep up. I wasn't feeling sick. I was just feeling tired because my body was like, nothing. And then I think I got home around the 12th, 13th, 14th. And I was like, it's not working. It's not worth it. And then I kept thinking about my dog because I couldn't get up in the morning and it was
your dog.
Yeah. I wasn't taking care of her properly. She was taken care of when I would go out and party. My friend would watch her and have a yard and everything. But I was like, I have a hard time hiking and I can't do my daily things with my dog. So I was like, might as well just, it's not good.
Yeah. So was there any particular come down moments or, rock bottom moments or anything like that stood out during that time? Because
No, physically,
It was
from the
just little by
drugs,
little.
yeah, I didn't have any problem like stopping. But my brain, like, yeah, was fried. So I was like, and at the same time, I was really emotional from it, I guess. And then I felt like the shift with the people that I used to hang out with, that because I wasn't doing drugs anymore, so I wasn't really part of the group,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really hard for me. And then from that, I felt like I lost all my friends, and that made me more lonely, I guess. And I felt like I wasn't included in anything, and that was really hard emotionally. I was crying a lot, and yeah, I started to cut again. That's another thing that I do.
I never knew that. That was something that started a long time ago.
It started in France when I went back, yeah, in 2016.
Yeah, how long would you say that period lasted that you were partying and not enjoying it?
Uh, well, I think because before Phoenix, we went to Spain, and then that fucking Airbnb was such a fucking nightmare. We paid so much money for it, and then there was no AC, the fridge wasn't working, and we're supposed to be there for a month, and we planned on like eating and everything, like go to the grocery store. We couldn't. It was just a nightmare. So we kind of canceled the thing. It was a nightmare. We went to London, and then yeah, I mean, always have fun in London, so that was great. But then when we got back, I was like, this is no longer fun. Like I keep doing it, but it's not actually fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Phoenix a month and a half later, and then I was like, that's it. I need to stop.
So was Phoenix the last night that you partied?
I had like, I don't remember when, but there was one night I went out, or one day, or maybe it was, and I think I did a bump, and the instant I did the bump, it was the smallest one. I was like, ugh, this is so gross. And then that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a moment where before I got sober that I realized I hate K.
Oh.
And which is ironic because I've done so much of it.
Yeah.
Like I've done so much K for years, and then realize I hate it. You know what happened was
the drip and everything.
it's so gross. I just don't like how it's a disassociative, and it makes me not like, I'm not fully there. I don't like that. I don't like not being in control. But what happened for me was that the golden trifecta for people, for circuit queens especially, is G, ecstasy, and K.
Yeah.
There was a period where for a year I was feeling guilty about my drug use, and I was kind of like what you were describing, just not feeling it.
Yeah.
And my solution was to try to scale back without being sober. And I recognized that ecstasy of the three was making me feel the worst.
Uh-huh.
So I was there was a good year where I was doing ecstasy very sparingly, and then just trying to get by with just doing G and K. And then I realized when you remove the stimulant of the ecstasy, and then I just felt the K, that was not it. Like I did not like that. And and then like only in that last year of partying. And then there was especially a few times where I didn't even do G. I just did K, and I hated it. And I'm like, why have I been sniffing this for 4 years?
I know. There was a period also the 2C thing, the pink one was like popping. And even the G towards the end, I couldn't find good G. And it was just like spending money for things that were gross and not working. And I was like, ugh.
Just thinking about that, G,
I can't drink Gatorade because of that anymore.
I can't drink Gatorade either. Yeah. I mean, like I can, but I totally, I'm 3 years sober. Gatorade still tastes like GHB.
Yeah.
Because, and if anybody's wondering, it's because you need to mix it with a chaser, basically. But it's not a chaser because you mix it and drink it together.
Well, some people were just, I remember
that's
someone
true. But at the clubs and at the circuit parties, Gatorade is what they have, and then the two flavors become one. And when you do so much of it, it's so bitter, it's so gross, and it's so toxic, and it burns. People will tell you it burns the cup, so you need to put the chaser in first.
Yeah.
And at what point do you look at that and think maybe that shouldn't go in my stomach? You know?
I know, it's insane. Truly.
G is the worst in terms of like what we were saying a moment ago, is that the consequences are seemingly low, but it's actually
internally. I don't even know how I don't have like holes in my stomach.
You probably do. That's the problem. So I remember one of my friends in Atlanta, Wes, who I love very much. I think I was starting to voice to him my experience of feeling guilty about the drug use and just being over feeling like crap.
Yeah.
And he said, he's like, people love to say that G has no hangover, but I don't really even buy that. Like, I don't even know if that's necessarily true. And it's a good point. It's like, yes, compared to alcohol, which is a very heavy hangover, G does not have a hangover. But like, when you do G, then the next morning, like, you don't feel great.
No, you
don't feel great. You
still
have a little bit of headache.
Yeah.
You feel a little nauseous. But yeah. So whereas with alcohol, you have a fucking headache.
Yeah.
Whereas G, it just might be like a little tiny, barely something when you first wake up. But you're not. It's not. You're not feeling like $1 million.
And all these guys that I don't know for them. I mean, everybody's different, but to me, doing all the drugs, I had obviously a problem with gaining weight and always been like that. But I lost so much weight because I wouldn't eat because I was never hungry. And I would see these guys just like do the drugs, wake up and still eat. And I was like, I wish. It's just like, I don't know if they force themselves or if they're just like their body. But I was like, sometimes I wouldn't eat for like 2 days, or I would just have like chips or something like that because I was not hungry at all.
That reminds me of in Palm Springs, and if you want, I can cut the story out. But I remember when we were at another content house with Rick and Griff for
White Party
in Palm Springs. I don't remember. I remember you did something nice for me when I was a little too fucked up.
I'm always doing that.
You are, yeah. And I'm always fucked up. So no. I remember you did something nice for me. Like we both did something nice for each other that weekend. That was kind of sweet when the other was fucked up. And I remember that I was about to leave at like 5 a.m. and saw you, and maybe I just asked to give you if you wanted to come back with me, and realized you were a swirly girly. Like you were like not, you were not well. And I said, come in, like, just come with me. And you were like, okay. And I brought you into the Uber. And then when we went back, like I was hungry. It was 5 a.m. But also if you are doing a little too much G, like you need food. And I remember making us egg sandwiches or eggs or something, eggs and toast or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I feel like
was your tortilla thing.
Oh, maybe that what it is? Egg wraps. That's my favorite. And I feel like I just helped you bounce back from that. And I remember that, like, I feel like the next day, like, it was switched where like I was a little fucked up and you like took care of me or something. It was nice. It was just nice.
I remember also I popped it because there was Paula Abdul.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
I got you backstage.
Introduced me to Paula Abdul because I made you eggs.
And you were like, oh my God, I'm such a huge fan. I was like, yeah, come backstage.
Thank God you got fucked up. That's so funny. Well, yeah. So, so when you decided to stop doing drugs, what was that like? Was that hard?
No, just stopping.
You said that
it was not.
Yeah. So sure. So you weren't. There was no physical dependency, but was there? Were there moments when you stopped that you wanted to party but just knew you shouldn't, and like?
I don't remember, so I'm gonna say no because to me, I was just like, I can't do it anymore. But
yeah, you were ready and you were excited. That's really awesome because a lot of people, like myself, are addicts and can't do that.
Yeah,
a lot of, and this is advice that I give to anybody in your shoes that can, is that like most people can't do that without meetings and professional help. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but most addicts cannot. So if you can fucking take advantage of that.
Yeah, I guess I don't really have a addictive personality. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Although I have a hard time stopping smoking.
Smoking what?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
Okay, you still smoke cigarettes?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I got really stressed over the last week or so between like my MRI and my dog got sick again. So I got a pack and I smoked.
And you're French. So,
Yeah,
so
I
there's
know.
that. Yeah. And then when you stopped doing drugs, did you try going back out to the parties at all?
No, I had no interest.
It's from then to now, you still haven't really at all.
Just my schedule now, I wake up at 4, go to the gym by 5. By 7, I'm done at the gym and I'm going on a 5-mile hike. So I can't do that with partying. And then unless it's like a day party, even then I'm like dragging like last 2 weeks ago when I went to the pool party thing, I dragged my feet, but I was excited to go with my friend. And then I had to have like a cocktail right away because I was like, I need to relax.
Like, what did you replace the partying with?
Well, it took a while because after that I was really depressed for a while. And then, all of us doing OnlyFans and all that, it kind of like oversaturated market. So even though we started like you and I like a long time ago compared to these new one, we still make good money to just live. But it's not like I could do before, like, oh, I'm going to buy a business class ticket to the UK.
Right.
So that didn't help the depression. And then,
sorry, and real quick, the depression, are you saying is because
my brain was fried from all the drugs.
From the drugs.
Yeah.
It was so explicitly the drugs.
Yeah. And well, I mean, I've also been, I don't know if it's a chronic thing, but I've also been like a sort of a little depressed since I was a kid. So that didn't help for sure. So it took me a while. And then as I was getting to the psychiatrist, he kept giving me medication that would just either make me extremely sleepy or I couldn't get hard. And I was like, this is not working. And I want to get tested for ADHD because since I was a child, I could not. That's why I dropped out of school. I could not read a book. I could not focus on anything. And it got worse and worse and worse as I got older. And the psychiatrist would not get me tested. So I went behind his back. I talked to my therapist. And then she finally got me an appointment to get tested. And that took like 9 months. So I finally get tested. It takes about 2 months to get all set up with the doctor and everything. I have like really ADHD really bad. So I get the paperwork and then I go back to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist tells me that she needs like 4 or 5 sessions before giving me the medication. And I'm like, I've already waited almost a year for this. And then you tell me now that you need to do more testing. I'm like, I've done the test. Like, it makes no sense. So I do the 5 sessions and we talk about like drugs abuse and all that. And I could tell that she was just not like, kept asking me questions about, I'm like, ma'am, I've already told you I don't do drugs anymore. I just like, I have a hard time with ADHD. So what, back and forth. So another 6 months went by and I got tired of it. So I switched the psychiatrist, and then I finally saw one. He read the manifesto from the test and he was like, yeah, I'm going to give you the medication. And now I'm on 60 milligram, which the highest dose is 70.
Of what? If you care.
Vyvanse.
Oh, Vyvanse. Oh, okay.
And that's been really helpful. That calmed my anger. I can focus on things. I have like intrusive thoughts. And that's why my schedule has been so much better. I can go to the gym. I can do whatever, like a normal person.
And if you don't mind me asking, what specifically was that prescribed to treat?
ADHD.
Okay. Yeah. And the medication and like psychiatrist piece is huge for all mental health things, but with addiction, I've seen that come into play where people were not on the right medications and was causing a whirlwind of emotions that now they're
terrible. They kept feeding me like all these antidepressants. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but this is not working. And I got all of them. I got like 5 different ones. And I kept telling them, with my work, I cannot not have a boner. And then sometimes I could, but then I couldn't come. And I was like, this is not, I'm like, no. Yeah. And then with the Vyvanse, they were like, you're going to have maybe some side effects. Like you lose appetite, you have headaches, you can just like be impotent again. And then have none of the symptoms and all of the benefits.
Yeah. That's good. Do you go to therapy at all?
Yeah. Once a week. I had it every Wednesday.
Do you talk about drug use there?
We did at some point.
Yeah, back then.
But now we'll just go back to like my childhood and we'll do like a chronology of my life. And then we're like almost to my 30s now.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps with like the trauma and all that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that I see a therapist every other week, and I feel like that has for sure been worked for me in replace of something like an AA meeting or something like that, because not so much anymore because now I'm several years sober, but before getting sober and after for the next year, that's all we talked about. Because you know what was for me, even after I got sober, then the next year I was dealing with lots of challenges of that. But then my problem was that I was still like taking Adderall either for a functional purpose or to help me go to the circuit parties. And I have an addictive personality and would abuse it.
Yeah.
And so even during this time that I was sober, it was like that was in the mix in the first 6 months, and it was not working for me. And like it took me months of talking to my therapist to like finally say like, just because it's a prescription drug, that doesn't mean it's not a drug. And it's prescription, not prescribed to me, but prescription nonetheless.
I remember all the guys before would take an Adderall before going to a party. I was like, oh, okay.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest improvement in your life now that you've been not using the drugs and partying?
Oh, I mean, honestly, I'm getting older, so as a gay man, I just hate it. But mentally, I'm more stable-ish. And then my routine, which is going to the gym, which took me 35 years to finally like enjoy going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't like to feel like shit when I wake up. I just wake up and I feel great. I mean, my arm hurts, but that's not related to.
Where your arm hurts?
Yeah, I need to do physical therapy because I inflamed thing, but it has nothing to do with drugs. I don't feel like shit. I don't look like shit. I just, everything overall is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I just, also I remember when I first started to go out, I used to see these gorgeous men, ripped, absolutely gorgeous. And then 10 years later, when I'm starting doing the drugs, he's still doing them and he's hunched. And then it's not a judgment. It's just like, if you can't get out of the cycle, it will ruin your life.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a very good point. Like, especially as somebody that still does go to all these pride events and circuit parties and stuff, I feel that when back in the day when we used to do this, go to these parties and take ecstasy, the funnest thing you could do is meet a cute boy and hang out with them all weekend and make out. You're both high. And what's your Instagram? And where are you from? And it's just, that's so fun. Now that I am not doing the ecstasy, that still could be the goal.
Yeah.
And then but then what I've found over the last few years is that I will meet someone on the dance floor that I think is really cute, or just, I'm like, ooh, this guy's super cute. And then like we're interested, it's mutual, and then we're dancing, and then but it's just like they're just like drenched in sweat and not saying anything. It's like
well, you can't say anything when you're on your knees sucking a dick on the dance floor.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm not saying anything, but he's not saying anything. So that doesn't answer why he's not saying anything.
I know. It's just, it clouds your judgment, not in a bad way, but your emotions are like so much like all over the place. And sometimes you wake up, you're like, oof, no, thank you. Or it's just surface level. And I've been trying to get more into like a healthier relationship kind of vibe with someone. So I just
and you're absolutely right. It's not a place of judgment. It's just an observation that when I meet someone now at a party where there is a mutual interest and attraction, but no substance. Well, substance, but illicit substance. But then it makes you realize like it's all just fake. It's all fake. It's just
it's not fake. It's very real, but it's like a
amplified.
It's amplified.
It's like a fantasy version.
Yeah. So it is fake, but it feels real.
Right. Because in fairness, you even on ecstasy, you can't just stumble into anybody's arms and feel that way about anybody. You know. Well, the making out's pretty fun. But when you meet somebody, you know, that you're attracted to, it's like really, really fun. But again, yeah, when they're just drenched in sweat and can't hold a conversation, it's just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then move to the next one. We all move to the next one.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, even for the sex part, I don't know about you, but it took me a while to enjoy sex after the drugs because everything is amplified. And then when you do it sober, you're like, oh, okay, wow.
You know what? So that was not my experience. I always, even throughout all of my time and using drugs, I always preferred sex was like a separate thing, and I preferred to be sober during sex. And if I was having sex at a party while high, it was a totally different. It was like a socially fun thing.
Yeah,
but I didn't get a lot of sexual gratification out of it.
Yeah, because you can't come.
Yeah, it's like, but even still, it just feels so. It's just so lacking.
Yeah,
that I just never enjoyed it for like in a sexual way. I just enjoyed like dark room and like those types of settings because it's just fun.
Yeah, it is.
But it's not up here. Didn't do much for me. But anyway, several people on this podcast so far have talked about that like that they had to take a break when they got sober for 8 months, 9 months, you know.
I didn't take a break because I had to work, but to truly enjoy it, it took a while. It was just not fun. I don't know. It was, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels different. And yeah, it's just,
do you think that, it was using G, were you using G with sex? Is that what you're referring to?
It's just like, you know, I used to do drugs all day, every day. So it doesn't matter. It was not specifically to have sex because especially towards the end, the G to me was not making me horny. It was just like making me really friendly and happy and then more relaxed overall. And none of the drugs will get me horny. Or there was like maybe a slight 30-minute window where you would see me like bolt off at the party because I was like, I need to get laid. But that was like a 30-minute window. And then if I lose that window, I'll be like, I'm just going to have fun with my friends.
Right. Yeah, that works. Wait, so do you think that you went a really long time without having sex sober, without realizing it?
Yeah, I guess because no, that's not true because when I work, when I was filming and everything, I didn't want to be high on camera. So That's
true.
Yeah.
But work behind the camera sex behind the camera is very different than sex in your personal life.
Yeah, that too.
So it's like for me, I look at it as it's like a completely different thing. To be honest, it's very similar to what I just described about the dark room and the orgy scene situation.
Yeah.
Is that like for me, and I'm sure a lot of people will hate to hear me say this, but the truth is that like doing porn, is not the most sexually gratifying. It's just fun. I love doing it. But because I like meeting people, I like hang out with somebody all day and getting to know them and making each other feel good. But like it doesn't even come close to how good sex could feel to me in my personal sex life, you know?
Yeah, it's different because you have to think about the angles and how you look and all that.
Yeah.
And then when there's no camera, you just...
There's moments that feel really good. There's moments that are kind of hot, but it's just a totally different thing.
Yeah, and then you have to drag it because you want to make sure you have enough footage.
And yeah, I know. Bo Butler and I talked about how we wanted to make like a funny skit of like, because you know, like instead of saying all the things you'd say in a porn, like oh fuck yeah, like instead like saying what you're actually thinking, like like how many more minutes? Fuck yeah, is this almost over?
How's my ass?
What are we gonna get for lunch? So that would be pretty fun.
That's actually true.
Yeah. How would you say it's been working being sober in the adult film industry, although not much has changed. If you weren't really, it's not like you did drugs while filming previously.
Yeah.
But do you have experiences where people are high and it bothers you?
I mean, I showed up on set one time. I was high and I was doing the G, and then I fell asleep during the scene. So.
And where could we download that?
Well, luckily I was supposed to be asleep, so I was like killing the role.
No,
and then
killing the.
I was like this,
the
and then we're supposed to have sex in my bed, and I was like,
wait, that's so funny. Although now where that was shot or when that was shot or whether you were breaking the law or not, I don't know. But my understanding is, as of now in California or maybe in Las Vegas or something, that there's like a rule or a law or a guidance that the sex can't start.
Yeah.
Because one time I was on set, right, and we were the scene we were going for was that I was being woken up with the sex, and then we were told we can't do that. So
yeah, I mean, I'm even surprised the scene that we did in the prison where you allegedly don't want it, and then we all force you and gangbang you. I don't know how they got away with it, but
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point for another podcast. Yeah, that's very true.
But yeah, no, that's the only time I think. But then when I went to Spain, it's just some guys, because over there I wasn't sure about what that meant. They kept sending like, the cloud emoji, and then I realized what it was, and then I was like, oh, okay, no, that's actually not fun.
Have you had a run-in with meth?
I smoked a pipe, something from a pipe once, and then it didn't really do anything, and I was like, oh, okay, never mind. And then that time in Palm Springs when we were together, I got really, really sick because I went to someone's house and we're all like, and then somebody put like, I don't know what it was. It was very like a little tiny rock, and they put it up my butt, and I got so sick from it.
Oh no!
And I don't know what it was.
You don't know what it was?
No, I don't know if I don't know.
Not the mystery booty bump,
but it was definitely not K or a pill or anything. I'm wondering if it was. I don't know what kind of form comes for crystal meth or anything, but it was very bad.
Did you feel the high of it?
Nah, maybe.
I mean, even if you didn't like it, did you feel an effect that?
I don't remember the effect. What I remember is having the worst stomachache, and then and then I was going to London for 2 weeks, and I couldn't bottom at all. It was just so bad. Like my entire, it was just really, really bad.
What do you think was the hardest drug you've ever taken?
Probably that one, because nothing made me sick for that long before.
But I would say no, because you weren't even high.
Yeah, I have no idea what it was. Maybe it was that combined with everything that I'd done throughout the week, and my body was like shutting down. I have no idea. It was just not fun.
Is there anything that stands out? What was the worst hangover you've ever had?
Oh, probably from drinking.
Yeah. Alcohol is so toxic.
Yeah.
So toxic to the body.
Especially now, the Vyvanse make me, I'm already sweating a lot, but the Vyvanse make me over sweat. And then the alcohol, if I drink, is just, I can't sleep because I wake up in sweat, and then I'm thirsty, but then I'm like tossing and turning. It's just, you can tell it's really, really bad.
Yeah. How do you manage to not try to drink too much or too often? Because then there's this like blurred line, so it's tricky.
It is, because if I go out and I'm having a drink, I'm going to have a second one and a third one. So yeah, that's why subconsciously I don't go out anymore, because I don't want to drink that much. But then also I'm very picky about my drink, and I would prefer to drink at a restaurant with a nice like glass of wine or a nice cocktail over going to the Abbey or any bars and drink something that's $30 and really gross.
Yeah, I get that. What would you say has been your favorite thing about stopping the drugs?
Not feeling like shit mentally, and because during that time, stopping, like the recovery of like getting my brain back to normal. Like to me, cutting, it was just like emotionally, if I was in so much pain, my heart and my head, I had to cut to just like get the pain physical and then get away from the emotional.
Yeah.
So that will probably be like one of the best thing. And then being able to go to the gym and have like a normal, regular life.
That is definitely, I think that some type of fitness piece is required for sobriety because it's like a natural high and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I feel really better afterwards.
Yeah, you feel so good and like it's your body feeling good because you're doing something healthy for it for once instead of putting a fucking crystal in your asshole.
So, you just, even if it's because of the pump, you look at yourself in the locker room and you're like, oh, fuck, I look good.
Yeah, no, I totally.
Yeah, I prefer it. The only thing for me, because I have a hard time being social and making friends, it's been very lonely because I do everything by myself, like whether it's going to the gym or hikes or stuff like that. But that's the only thing.
That is definitely a common comment that people give is that I don't necessarily need to or want to get high, but I need it to help. I need help in a social setting because I'm more quiet and more reserved. So how has that been harder to manage without drugs?
Well, yeah, I mean,
you don't even go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I need like a cocktail or something. And even then I just don't want to drink, but I do better in small groups, or I need to know everybody in the group. Otherwise people think I'm like very outgoing but I'm very, very shy. And in a big group, I just stay in a corner because I don't know why. I've always been like that.
I understand that. Do you think that you'd ever consider giving up alcohol?
I mean, I've kind of doing it right now because I don't really want to drink because I don't feel well afterwards. And the next day I feel like shit. And then the next 2 days, I'm not feeling 100%. So I'm like, is it worth it? No.
I feel like with alcohol, you can lose a whole week. If you are hungover enough, like
especially our age.
Well, that's what I was going to say next is that I remember that got worse as the years went by, and I haven't had a drink in like 5 years because even before getting sober, I didn't really like alcohol. Yeah. So I have not had a proper hangover in like 5-6 years. That means that I was still in my late 20s, and I noticed that escalation. I can't even imagine what that shit would do to me now at 30.
It sucks. I don't like it either. So no. And then I try to think about my skin too. And then so
you know, there's something else you said that also reminded me, and just now, something my dad said when I was younger is that like you don't want to become an alcoholic because alcohol makes you ugly. And what's so funny is that like that's genius. Like he really he was serious because what he was saying is that he's known lots of people like his age that he knew drank like a fish and saw over the years their complexion and different, their face gets all red and they have all these big bumps on their nose and
deflated from not drinking.
So he was actually being quite serious. But when I look back on that, I'm like, damn, that is the most perfect thing you could tell a teenager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that made me more concerned than a DUI or crashing or so
it ruins your skin. Like I literally went from a 36 to a 34 since I stopped drinking. Waist size.
Wow. And by the way, since getting sober, that was one of the things I noticed both times. Well, the first time I was on heroin, so of course I looked horrible.
That must be rough.
It was pretty rough. Watch the first episode of my podcast. But even again, not on heroin, just GK pills. When I stopped, the amount of compliments I would get that like, oh, your skin looks so healthy. You look so good, and it feels good. It feels good to hear that.
It does.
And when you don't put drugs and alcohol in your body for a long time, like You just feel good and you look good. It's a wonderful feeling. Okay, well, I think we probably could wrap up. So, thank you for coming on the podcast and sharing your story, of course. And where can people find you? Instagram, whatever websites? Do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, I mean, follow my new Instagram because it keep getting deleted.
How many times has your Instagram been deleted?
I don't know. I don't even do anything, so I don't know. But it's Chris Demmed Official.
I would say I think at least 3 or 4 times it's been deleted.
Yeah, I know, and I just don't do anything, and then they just like don't even tell you. I go to my account status, everything is green, and then I wake up and boom, it's gone.
Yeah. So sorry. Where could they find you now?
Chris Demmed Official.
Okay.
That's the Instagram.
And is there a website or anything?
Yeah, chrisdemmed.com.
chrisdemmed.com, and all the links are there.
Well, that goes to my OnlyFans, but
okay,
that's the main one.
That's an easy way to see you. So is that the one we can see you falling out? Where can we see you falling asleep? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, awesome. Anything else to plug?
No.
Great. Okay, and you can find all my links at drewvalentino.com and all these episodes at stoptheridepodcast.com. Thank you. Bye.